How's it going? Pound it?
Oh, right. Right. What are we doing?
Okay.
Okay. What?
This is the way we say hello in the UAE.
What, this?
Yes,
What,
with the nose.
did you do that?
There you go.
Oh,
just the tip
weird.
of the nose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just the tip.
You learn something every day.
Yeah.
Just the tip.
I don't think I'll go around doing that, so that might be really awkward.
No, I won't be awkward. Yeah,
How you
it's
doing?
okay. I'm good. And yourself?
Well, I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for taking time out today.
Yeah.
I promised you a very interesting ride. I brought for you an Audi RS7. Do you know about this car?
Yeah, I've heard about it. Yeah, and I've seen it in the streets.
Do you know what it's got under the bonnet?
An engine. Oh, I think so.
This has got a beast of an engine. I think you're really going to enjoy this. I'll tell you a bit more about it in the car.
I'd love to.
Shall we go for a ride?
Yeah, why not? Let's
All
go.
right, let's do that.
this.
So, tell us about yourself. You're Omar Al Basadi.
Yes.
And you're a man of many, many talents. You're an author, you do PR, you do
Speaker.
tourism, you're a speaker, a lecturer. To give us a snapshot of who is Omar Al Basadi.
You know, so Omar Al Busadi, I turned 29 March 25th. That's my birthday.
Is that just so that people know when to send you a gift?
Exactly, that's the point. So no excuses now. It's recorded,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah. So I grew up. Most people think that I grew up in a different country, but no, I am born and bred in this country. And if you're wondering about my accent, it's Hollywood and a lot of like watching EastEnders and the
Oh
rest
no,
of it.
EastEnders is not Hollywood.
No, Hollywood
EastEnders is
and
like that. It's like London, isn't it? It's like Market Trader and all
So-
that sort of. Why don't you speak like a Cockney then? You got to speak like a Cockney.
you know, dog in the bone, dog in the bone, or whatever. You know, I got a bit of that.
Because earlier you said to me, let's have a gander at this, and I'm like, what is that?
Yeah, no, that is thanks to my experience working for the UK government for a while. But before rushing to the UK government, I studied at the American University in Dubai. I studied marketing there. And but while I was studying at the American University in Dubai, I was a full-time employee. So I worked in the bank. I worked in the bank for 2 years, and then I worked for Dubai Shopping Festival. I was doing marketing there. I worked for the British Embassy, so I was a senior commercial attaché. I was the first Emirati actually to work for the British Embassy in Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
So it was pretty cool. I was supporting UK companies to win contracts here in different fields. I also worked for the Dubai Chamber of Commerce in external relations, also supporting people from around the world to do business here. And then I worked in Abu Dhabi municipality as well. I was doing project management, and then now I finally work for the Abu Dhabi Tourism and Culture Authority. And
Have you got itchy feet or something? Is that what it is? It's
You
like
know,
you can't, like,
I know.
I'm bored of this now. I want to try
so
something
now,
else.
Okay,
or-
so this year, 2015, it's a total combined experience of 12 years. Okay, and I know I moved, but you know, remember, I used to work and study. So while I was studying, what I tell people, I was trying to discover myself. I was trying to understand, like, what does Umar like? What fits my personality? What's the thing that I actually have a passion for? And now I know what I want. And
what is that?
It's commercial diplomacy.
Commercial diplomacy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to specialize in. I love it. I love international relations, international business, and I work in an international organization. In fact, you know, the Abu Dhabi Tourism, we have 11 offices. In fact, we just opened an office in South Africa this year.
Oh, right.
The first office in Africa. So tapping into a whole new market. Now I know that this is what I want to do. You know, talking to people from different parts of the world, different cultures. I love that. I love meeting people from different cultures. I like trying their food. I like trying their clothes. I like even learning their language as well. You know,
How many languages have you learned?
I can speak Arabic, English, French, Swahili.
Swahili?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I can speak a bit of Spanish. I took Spanish in university.
Wow.
I can speak. Well, yeah. When I went to Russia, for example, it tells you when you go to Russia, nobody speaks English in Russia, so you need to learn your Russian. So
I just know niet.
Niet.
That's it. Yeah.
No, I would say, "Мені понимаю, не понимаю," which means I don't understand. Не понимаю русский. Yeah, but it's interesting. So when you meet people from different cultures, it changes you as a person. Your mindset changes, you know. And I was fortunate. So with this experience in different sectors, so from a professional point of view, And then with my education, my parents are great. My parents are both educated. They both studied civil engineering back in university. And with all this combined, plus there was something interesting that happened within my years, these few years. There were two things. First, I was a serial entrepreneur, so I had a
What
business.
do you mean a serial entrepreneur? Is that like a serial killer? What's that about?
No,
then?
I tried. Well, I wasn't shooting people, but I was shooting businesses. Like I was
All right.
opening a business and killing it.
Right,
you know,
right.
Like,
so you were a serial killer then? Wow.
It was.
I don't know if I'm comfortable being in a car with a serial killer. This may not have been a good idea.
No, so I had an advertising agency, and then I also had a store selling women's dresses and wedding
Women's
gowns. It was a boutique store. Yeah,
Right, okay.
There's big business in
Was
that.
that a personal interest? Is that-
Yeah, no, I wasn't checking out the women trying out the dresses. I was not allowed to be there. But yeah, whatever. That was one, and then
Because some people call that a dress, don't they?
yeah.
You must have met people
Yeah,
that
they
say,
do.
"What is
They
it?"
do.
You know what I
They
mean?
call this a dress, and I tell them. I mean, it's just a different version.
What's that called now? I mean,
Kandura.
Because
So
in,
what
the,
I'm
in the
wearing-
region they call it different things, right?
Yeah, in some places they'll call it thobe.
Yeah.
Here in the UAE we call it kandura. So
Yeah.
this is a kandura what I'm wearing.
Yeah. And there's subtle differences, aren't there? Because then that's very Emirati. That
If
thing, isn't it?
anybody's yes, exactly. Anybody that sees this, you're one of the very few people who actually know that. I mean, people I know who live there all their lives, they still
Yeah.
don't know what's the difference between this kandura and the other one.
Yeah.
But this is a traditional Emirati kandura. If anybody sees this, they're like, okay, we know you're from the UAE.
That's right. Yeah.
And of course, what I'm wearing, I call it my headgear.
Yeah.
I'm wearing ghutra,
Yeah.
and then underneath it is like a hat, a
Yeah.
cap called kahfiya, and then on top is the igal in the black, which is holding everything together.
Right.
I also had a company called Connections Middle East.
Right.
It was a consultancy firm, supporting or consulting companies from overseas to do business here. I had a
So
the
that
office
was
in Abu Dhabi.
So that sounds like that was a stepping stone towards what you're actually doing now.
Exactly.
Right.
However, during the financial crisis, that didn't last. Most of the companies,
Along with a lot of other things,
Exactly.
I hasten to add.
So the financial crisis, what happened is because I depended mostly on companies from overseas to come here. Most of those companies I was dealing with, filed for bankruptcy back home. And I was like, oh, perfect, So everything went really slow, and now I'm just a happy camper doing my own thing. Now, one of the things that happened, you mentioned author in the beginning of this interview. What happened is I was invited several times by different government agencies to speak at universities, to speak to students about my interesting experience in the entrepreneurial world.
The serial killing thing.
The serial
Yeah.
killer. So
Yeah, we're having a serial killer in here. Talk's going to be great. Slaughter.
I can
bloodbath.
neither confirm or deny these allegations. I've always wanted to say that. I gave a lot of talks, and then the universities told me that the students found it interesting and they wanted me to go back again. I
Right.
kept going several times, and then I developed my own content, and I had my own PowerPoint slides.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I always do every time I speak to the students, I told them, listen, please, one, do not disturb the class. If you want to have a conversation, just do it outside the classroom, and then you can come back in. Second, please take notes. I mean, I have a habit of always taking notes. I'm not doing it right now, which is a bit of a thing, but whatever.
But a lot of people don't take notes now, do they?
I know,
even in classrooms and stuff.
I know, they don't even
take notes.
forget notes. They don't even have a pen.
Yeah.
That's the worst. I mean, at least you could write on your hand if you found something interesting, but they don't. But
I guess people rely on phones and things, right? So they just come up
That's
and
actually a good
just
point.
record
Yeah,
it, right?
I used to record some of my sessions, but these students would not do anything. Would just sit there and they would stare at me. So I'd be like, okay. So one of the students one time told me, you know what, Mr. Omar, I don't like taking notes, but I like to read, which is also surprising. I was like, oh, okay, someone likes to read.
It's you! You're the one!
She's like, so she's like, I won't take notes, but I'd love to read your book. Why don't you write a book and then I'll read. I love your content. I love what you're saying. So I'm like, I've done a lot of crazy things in my life, but
So I'll add book writing. To
I was married once too. That didn't work.
okay.
That was a disaster. But anyways,
that's a whole separate book.
that's a whole other book. Okay. And so I was like, I've tried everything in my life, but I haven't written a book. Why not? You know, like, so 2 years later, published author.
Wow.
I have my first ebook. My book is called Just Read It.
Get it. Just read it.
Just read it.
Yeah.
Get it now on Amazon, iBooks, Kobo, Angus and Robertson, and Kindle.
Excellent. I'm going to do that when I get home. Promise.
Yeah. It's on many other, hopefully many other platforms.
I'm actually really envious. I'm really jealous actually, because I would like to write a book as well. I've got a book in my head for a long time, and I've got to get it.
So the book is about the attitude of an entrepreneur. It's all about social and emotional intelligence. It's nothing that you don't know. Like, I was interviewed recently by a newspaper, and they told me, "What do you expect your readers to learn?" I said, "Nothing." Then they're like,
well, I guess the idea is to articulate stuff, to make you stop and think about stuff that you already know, but to go, oh, okay, yeah, I know that, but I hadn't really thought about it, or I hadn't put that into action.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I say? All I did with the book is I Omarized it.
Omarized it.
So it's like you hear everything. It's like you heard the same thing. I'm sure your dad has said it. I'm sure everybody else has told us these points before. Because it's things that you learn in religion, at home, in school, whatever. And the only difference with me is I Omarize. So if you hear the way I'm speaking right now, if you read the book, it's exactly the same style.
Exactly the same, yeah.
You'll be like, oh, this is definitely Omar. When there's someone trying to, so if you're sitting in a waiting area and someone's trying to enter the door, and that person probably has a couple of things that they're holding in their hands, and it's not easy for them to enter. Yeah. There'll be 6-7 people in the waiting area. You would not find more than 1 or 2 people who actually will take the initiative to get up to try to help that person through.
Yeah.
You know, the book is about that person.
Right, the one that gets up.
The one that gets up. The one that gets up, that's what the book is. So the one that gets up, that's what the book is about. But the ones who didn't get up, this book is targeted towards them.
All right.
Why didn't
so I don't
you
need
get
to
up?
read it then.
I know. No. You know, Shehzad, you're great. I'm not just saying this to the cameras, but like you can. Someone can see that about you as the moment they watch your videos. The moment they look at your videos,
my brown is turning a shade of slight red. Look.
If someone looks at your videos or your Instagram, you can sense those messages, like the things that I'm talking about in my book, in your, trying to put a smile on people's faces. Like,
absolutely,
you saw that there is a gap in the market in this field, in the motoring sector. You took the initiative to do something from what you did before and now what you're doing. So that's what I love. The more we have people like you, the more the world will be a better place.
Well, thank you very much. This is very kind of you. Motoring, now that you've brought that up.
Yeah.
Are you into cars?
Oh yeah, I have.
I mean, that's an Emirati thing, isn't it?
That's
all Emirati guys that I know,
inbred
all
in
into
us,
cars, right?
You have, we love it. You know, the first time I drove a car was obviously I didn't have my driver's license. But
that's another common story, actually.
Yeah,
I mean, to be fair,
we can't wait.
To be fair, I will reveal this now. To be fair, I got arrested in Saudi Arabia for driving without a license, and I'd been driving for several years.
I think, for us guys, it's it's like trying to claim our manhood kind of a thing. It's just like, the engine, and then you can show everybody else, and you just want to show everyone you could do. The same thing with me, with the business. The reason I started business so early, at like 19 years old, I think, and it's just because I wanted to walk around and show everyone I have a business card that says CEO. I was like, hello, hey guys, my friends were like,
oh dear,
what? Like, oh, Umar,
but CEO at 19.
Congratulations, like 19. That's what I love. My mom has this joke. She's like, Umar, we're gonna create a museum with all your business cards, because I have a business card that says CEO, chairman, managing director, partner, everything. It's like, you tried so many different things. You joined up with different people. I was like, Ma, I just can't give up. I have a feeling, Ma, I was destined to be like the next, like, Richard Branson, with the whole conglomerate of things. But in the end, I wrote a book that isn't really selling like it's not the number one bestseller.
It will now.
Yeah,
it will now, because everybody will go out and buy it, including me.
We have to be able to track the people that watch this video right now, and if they've actually purchased the book or not.
Yeah,
it's like when they click, it has to link to the book on Amazon. Anyways.
So if you were a successful CEO, right, what car would you buy?
Ooh, that is a very good question.
How about this one?
I would look. I love the Audis.
Yeah.
I mean, Audi. I used to drive an Audi before.
Have you been in this before? You've been in one of these before?
This is the first time.
That's RS7.
This is RS7.
You know about the RS7?
No, I used to drive the Q7.
Let me tell you. You've been in the Q7.
I used to own a Q7.
Let me tell you a little bit about this car then. This car is the top of the range for the A7 model range. So you've got the A7, S7, and RS7.
Yeah.
This is the big monster. This is the beast. It's got a V8 engine up front, putting out 560 brake horsepower.
Wow.
This thing will do 0 to 100 in 3.9 seconds. That's quicker than some supercars.
That's insane.
And I've tried to come on to Sheikh Zayed Road here a little bit, tried to get off because we were on Jumeirah Beach Road earlier, which has got 70 limit on it.
Yeah.
So I've come on here just so that what I'm going to do now is if I press this button down here that says car,
okay.
and you can see this. All right, what it tells you that you've got comfort mode, automatic mode, dynamic mode,
nice,
and individual. Dynamic is obviously sporty. I like individual because you can go into individual and you can set up the engine, the suspension, the dynamic steering, the sport differential, the differential, the engine sound. Everything can be set up in there.
So if you went to dynamic and you change the engine, what happens?
Everything gets. So I'll show you in a minute. But what I do is I leave the suspension in comfort because if you put the suspension into dynamic, it becomes quite hard. Okay. But so now that we're in this, right, all I'm going to do is try and clear a little bit of space, and I'm just going to put my foot down.
Okay, that is what I love. I mean, this took me back.
That is good. Huh? That is what this car is about. So you look at the car from the outside, and it's a sort of upmarket, premium, luxury sort of car. You get inside, and you've got all the carbon and nice steering and everything. It's a family car if you look in the back with a massive boot, and then you can put your foot down and you do that.
That is amazing. No, that is amazing. That is incredible. You know what they say? The difference between men and boys is the size of their toys.
Yes, well, I'm glad you said that.
This is a different
I thought you were going somewhere else with that one, but okay.
No, this is a big boy's toy. I love it. I think this is amazing, honestly. Wow, and the gear looks. I love the gear.
You know, a lot of manufacturers now are moving towards buttons and knobs and things like that. But I still like. I like a lever.
There's no school like old school.
Yeah.
This is. I love it too. I think it's really great, and the interior as well. I mean, everything's. It's spot on, and for me, I'm quite tall.
What do you look for in an interior? Yeah, how tall are you? You're taller than me. I think. Maybe a little bit taller.
I'm 192 centimeters.
I think maybe you're slightly taller than I am. Yeah.
So 192 centimeters. My legs are longer than the rest of the upper part of my body.
I have the same. Yeah.
So I always need like leg room, and this car has amazing leg room, which is like one of the things that it's the first and foremost that I look for in a car, because if I don't get comfortable, I get issues with my back.
Yeah.
So this is really good. And I love how my arms are like rested here against the seat as well, you know. But what do I look for in a car in general, apart from the legroom and everything else? I love how a car handles itself on the road. I like to feel that the car and the road are like married to each other. So this is the thing. When I have that and there's the stability, it's what changes everything. Because
you'd love this one, man. Because I can't demonstrate here on Sheikh Zayed Road, but remind me another time we'll go out into the mountains in one of these. This is Quattro all-wheel drive.
Nice.
The handling is unbelievable.
So the handling is amazing. So for me, the handling is really important. And I'm someone who's frequently on the go. Like I'm always on the road. I need that stability and everything, you know. So and another thing is also the steering wheel. Believe it or not, for me it does make a big difference. Like if it doesn't feel well on my hands and everything, it just changes my decision as well. Like I won't feel comfortable.
Are you of the chunky school or the thin rim school?
I like the chunky one.
Yeah, so this one of these.
This is one of it. Yeah.
Isn't it correct to say that every Emirati household has a Land Cruiser?
Yeah, they do.
This has to be one.
Yeah,
right?
it has to be one. I mean, again, off-road, you need to have that car. When I sold the
Do you do much off-roading? Because there's another atypical thing about you. You said to me earlier, you don't like the sand and you don't like the heat.
I don't like the sandstorm, No, but I do like the sand. But we do go off-roading, but I must admit, I don't do it as frequently as a lot of my friends do. Like, it's just mostly I have a lot of friends that fly in from overseas. The moment they come, then I take them. But otherwise, I'm not.
Have you got any other car at the moment?
No, I used to drive a different car. I used to have a Hummer. I used to have a H2.
Right.
I had a Golf as well, the GTI.
H2 is a big beast, right?
Oh yeah, it was. That car, however, at that time, it wasn't really feasible for me because I used to drive a lot because I used to work and study and everything. So going to work, going to university, the amount of money I spent on fuel was just ridiculous. So I couldn't keep up with that. In different circumstances, fine. Every car, in my opinion, is good based on your use, what you're going to use the car for, or what is your circumstance at that time. I always feel like the older I get, or the different things I end up doing, I'll be in I'll drive a different car.
It's true. It's true.
And also my status.
You said you had a Golf GTI, right?
Yeah.
So that's like a youthful car.
That when I was like the first thing.
Well, the other thing I will say though, because although I am maybe a few years more senior than yourself,
Granddad.
Thanks, man. You went there. But I will remember this. But there's part of me that goes, okay, a car like this is very suiting. Is very suitable to my stature, if you like. But on the other hand, I like Golfs and I like GTIs and I like Focus RSs and I like the mad little hatchbacks and stuff like that.
And and what I think what is really interesting is now manufacturers are all combining almost the different elements of sport, comfort, luxury, and I think wait, what else? Automatic, electronics,
gadgets,
gadgets and everything.
I mean, you're quite right. I think manufacturers they're trying to come up with cars now that are all things to all men.
Exactly.
Which is. Some part of that is good, but some part of that I don't like, because I think some cars do need to have their own identity.
Yeah.
They do need to have something slightly unique about them.
Yeah. And you see, then they start with the different lines. Like now I heard the Rolls-Royce. They want to soon get into like 4x4s as well. Yes. Which I was like, okay. But again,
but having said that, Rolls-Royce does have a history in the desert.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. It's interesting, it's interesting how they're trying to diversify their portfolio and get into and expand their product line. But I guess in the end, it's just the individual. It's the relationship between the driver and the car. You see a car, I think you just know it. Just like when you meet that one woman, you're like, I am going to marry her. So. I guess it's just that connection that happens between the car and the driver.
So what's the car you want to marry now? So what's the one you're after?
Right now I feel like I'm at the stage in my life where I need to continue. I need something that will reflect what's inside me, which is like a boost into the next level of my career and everything else that I'm doing. So I want a car with one engine that will just the sound of the engine that takes it to a whole other level. It's like
how about this?
Yeah, there you go.
But the trouble with this car is that this is more of a made it sort of car. From what you're saying, you're still getting there.
Yes.
When you buy an Audi, okay, maybe not so much this one, but so for example an A8 or an SA, you've arrived.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're there. You're sorted. You don't need to prove anything to anyone.
Yeah.
This car maybe is a little bit more aspirational. This car is sort of getting there, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But maybe you're looking for something. It sounds like you're looking for something a bit more sporty.
Oh yeah. R8.
R8.
Something like the R8 or R8 or Maserati or whatever.
Yeah.
Maseratis
are lovely.
Maserati is a whole other level as well. It's that engine that just I have a roar inside.
Yeah.
I can't go around the streets and people think
you're
I'm
like
weird.
That song.
Exactly.
You're gonna hear me roar. Go on, and you do it. I've got better singing voice.
So no, because the sand has got in my throat.
Oh no, that old excuse. Come on.
Okay, yeah. I can actually sing.
I said you could.
Fine,
Come on, give us. Go on.
You want me to sing something?
Yeah, go on.
I don't know. Wait, what?
There's this brilliant video online which I want to replicate if I can of Sheikh Zayed, and he's driving an old Chrysler, Chrysler in the desert. He's just driving along in the dunes in this big old American tank, and he's ease with it. He's singing.
Yeah, he is. Oh no, it was, you know, he was a well-known poet as well. I mean, he's had a lot of poetry and everything. I'm trying to think of a song.
Whatever your favorite one is, go for it.
Oh yeah, you know, UB40. Remember that song? Can't help falling in love.
Go on then.
You know.
Go on.
So it goes like this. Why?
I must say, what? This is not for me. He's
okay,
not,
sure.
Okay, yeah, right.
Okay.
Just as long as we're clear,
fine.
right?
Okay. So I'll go. Okay, here goes nothing. Okay, I don't have the best voice in the world, but I love the words of the song.
Yeah.
Okay. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. What do I like to do in my pastime? My favorite pastime activity is sitting down, having a good, decent intellectual conversation with good company in a great location. That's it. That makes my day. Like that for me is way more valuable and more entertaining than doing anything else.
So where are you normally to be found hanging out doing that sort of stuff then?
So I love, I would hang out in, like, I like to go to certain like resorts here, you know, on the Palm Island or whatever, and I'll just sit down. I love my cappuccino, or I like having a smoothie, and I'll sit somewhere there and you know, just enjoy like the nature and everything, because I'm into the whole energy thing.
Right.
Yeah, like positive energy and whatever the chakra and whatever.
Yeah.
So when I see someone, or you know, I just immediately try to see whether I can connect with them with the energy. If there's someone who has the negative vibe, and you can tell sometimes, you know, I just stay away from them. So for me, it's all about the energy, because that's what keeps me going. And I always tell people, like,
you know, I would say one thing though. I will interject and say one thing.
Sure.
I totally get that. I get that you know, you want to feed off positive energy, and negative energy gets you down. But don't you think that somebody, and you know, and I've just met you, and I've just spent, you know, an hour or so chatting to you, and you come across as this lovely guy, really energetic, really optimistic, full of ideas, full of wanting to do stuff. Don't you think that actually you engaging with negative people would be beneficial for them?
You're right. I do feel that, and now for me, it's just, I'm not just trying to stay away from people with negative energy, as long as I know they have the will to convert that energy.
Right.
They know when they are aware. Yes.
Yeah.
If they're in denial, and then they try to continue to just feed off your positive energy, or my positive energy, then, you know, sometimes, you know, if you have to make a decision to say no, or just go the other way around, you know? Like, you can try, but then sometimes you just have to make the decision to like let go. You know, it's like when you work in an organization, you have employees. There are employees who are stars and there are ones who aren't sometimes. And then you try to change the ones who aren't to become stars. Yeah. But if they don't want to, then there are times where you just have to make a decision to tell them, fine.
You take a horse to water, but
you can't afford to drink from it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Maybe take a camel in this case.
Exactly. Although we have lots of Arabian horses.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
So there you go. For me, this is my theory. I don't give up that easily. I try. That's the most important.
Yeah.
As long as I try, because if you don't try, you won't know. So there you go.
Well, you know, to be honest, I have to say it's been absolutely an inspiration and a joy to spend some time with you and to listen to you.
Thank you.
And I think that it's wonderful to meet somebody like you, and I think, you know, especially doing the stuff that you're doing at the age that you are, and you've got, you know, so much potential ahead of you.
Thank you.
And you know, I do hope that you're able to engage more people and to inspire more people, because it's wonderful.
I'm honored. Like, I met you. You're like a motoring legend in this country. I love it.
Look at my ego. I don't think this roof can
No, seriously, you are. I mean, I told you already, and I'm not just saying this for the cameras, but I mean, everything that you've done already, and what you're trying to do, you're going to take this to a whole other level. I mean, the more support you get from other people, I wish, and anything that I could do to support you as well, I'm all, you know, I'm available. Like,
thanks very much,
I tell people sometimes, use and abuse me. So just whatever
you
I
have to be careful when you say things like that.
Yeah, not in that sense, but But if I can support, I would love to do that. And for me, I believe like everyone's got God-given potential. Everybody's got great God-given potential, and we just have to unlock that potential. The world's your oyster, and the sky's the limit. So you can do whatever you want as long as you put your mind to it. And haters are gonna hate.
Yeah.
You just have to keep going.
Absolutely.
If you put your mind to something, just work towards it, and it's so easy, and it just happens. And for me, even with the book, I'm not trying to make a profit or anything. I even told my publisher, with all the proceedings from the book sale, just give it to a charity or something. I'm fine with
That's lovely.
That's
very nice gesture.
Thank God, alhamdulillah, I'm making enough money right now with my current job, and that's fine. It's going to sustain me. The book, I just want the message to go out. It's just I think a message of hope and optimism. There's lots of things that's going on in the world. The world's changing constantly. They always say it's going to get worse before it gets better. The better is quite a distance, seeing the circumstances now.
Yeah.
So what can we do at this time? We can either sit and be threatened about it, or scared and worry, etc., or we can try to use our potential and our opportunity now to spread positive energy and try to create positive change.
Just let everybody know your Twitter, Instagram handle, all the rest of it, just if
sure.
people want to catch up with you.
Twitter, it says OMARCME, which used to stand for Connections Middle East, So that's my Twitter handle, OmarCME. And my Instagram and LinkedIn is both Omar Al-Busaidy, OMARALBUSAIDY.
So, that was great.
That was a good drive. That was a good conversation.
That was brilliant. I really enjoyed that. Yeah,
I love
Conversations on the move.
Conversations on the move.
How did you enjoy the car?
I loved it. Great drive. Very comfortable, and that G-force thing that took me back.
We need to go for a proper drive in this, because around town I can't really show you what it can do.
I agree.
We obey the traffic laws in the Middle East. But,
yes, of course.
We can enjoy cars a little bit more, dude. But we can enjoy cars a little bit more when we get out of town. But I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I loved it.
Great talking to you.
And of course the company. I mean, you were great. I enjoyed the conversation, and I look forward to doing this again. More frequently.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Umar.
Thank you, sir. All the best.